This is your weekly dose of inspirational stories of ordinary people who dare to dream and strive for greatness. I am Pulem Molebati, here to report on yet another phenomenal tale of a change maker. On the show today, Nora Fakudenkuna shares her story of building a business from the love she had for trucks as a 13-year-old child. Today, she owns the biggest bus business in Mpumalanga. Here is her journey from humble beginnings to being a successful businesswoman.
Nora Fakudenkuna is a woman of many talents that are not particularly associated with females. Her edge and love for trucks got her the recognition that would later launch her career. Hailing from a small village in Mpumalanga, her childhood was filled with memories that built her up to be respected and an expert in her industry.
It was beautiful growing up because there was nothing else to look at. This was home. All that was there was a rondavel here and another rondavel where it's now this house is staying. Gugwa auntie, my father's elder sister, and she was like a mother to my mother and my father, and all of us were born here, and when we were sick we would come here. It was just home. But we didn't mind. We were self-contained.
Discovering an old truck and attempting on fixing it, Mama Nora developed an undying love for mechanics.
I would go underneath, check what is wrong. Actually, I used to love trucks. I never loved small vehicles. I could niki. Our eldest brother bought us a GMC truck. That's the only truck that I could drive without a license, because ngangithatha isanti emfuleni siyidayisela emizini so that we can make a living.
Poverty was the sentiment for her willpower to learn more.
Everything original. Here, sasi ngale mfuleni kwakunemasimi, silima ivande, hlanyela amadumbe nemiroho, silima sibuyise ekhaya. Long weekends kwakunendawo la kwakuphekwa khona utshwala besintu, angazi noma uyawasazi isipayoni. Sasiye endabeni ngalesi kuthiwe kusemabangweni. Sifike ke kubasa umculo isipayoni le sibuyiswe sizothengiswa. And those were the things that we used to do in order to make a living.
Her old friends were more than happy to share with the Bophelong crew on Nora's childhood, still calling her by her nickname Zinono.
No, abani veni yakabo yabakabo. Chevrolet. A rally sand. A driver ayimile angakoti ukuthama. Hileswaku alintsongo. Afamba adelivery ba. Hileswi hiba himtivisa kachiso.
They say her vision for a bigger future outside poverty started showing back in class.
Besikanye classini kodwa yena upright angidlula ububright bakhe baze bamenza ukuthi bampromote esikolweni bamjumpise enye subject enye class angayifundi bamisa phambili mina ngasalela emva yena waya phambili ngemfundo. Kodwa masiphuma esikolweni beka usisi ofocusa emsebenzini yasekhaya, abazali bakhe bebangahlupheki ngaye. Yonke imisebenzi yasekhaya besiyikopa kuye.
Selling river sand with an old truck was a seed Nora had to plow for her greater future. Her dreams of being a female logistics guru were launched before they could be seen physically.
Akumphathi kahle kakhulu Why should umntana makashonile bangasho?
Of what did they die?
Ngifuna i-death certificate yomntwana, ngifuna i-paperwork yasesibhedlela.
Back-to-back victories for Bongmusa Mtembu, his second down run victory.
It was very emotional, you know. I've been putting a lot of work on my training. I'm very happy. Coach is amazing.
Just completely unexpected, just a dream come true.
From a bush mechanic to a school teacher and now a major shareholder of the biggest bus company in Mpumalanga, Nora Fakudenguna today tells her humbling story.
It happened naturally because it was never planned. When I started, I was a teacher, and from being a teacher, I was faced with poverty and I had to do something for my children.
As a teacher, she never wanted to see any of the children going through poverty like she did.
I improved my children's handwork. Come weekend, carried it to go and sell in the suburbs here in White River.
Nora decided to push her boundaries further by leaving teaching.
The move was not easy because being trained with out of poverty, my parents sent me to school, and when I told them that I'm leaving teaching, my father was very angry with me. I want to quote his words: "You leave teaching to go and sell tinda fufu." And I moved. I went. He couldn't speak to me for a year. But I was there at Daizenza, improving the people's handwork and doing exactly what I was doing because I was teaching them and helping them to put food on the table.
Risk taker and determined to not just survive, Nora expanded her handwork business.
I told them, but I left my profession. I established myself here. And people, a lot of families depend on Daizenza and on what I taught them. You can't close it. Sell it to me. And there was a big argument because they said, what do you want to do with it? Because there won't be tourists coming here.
Being a woman and an inexperienced businesswoman, she had to fight to keep the center.
That's when I decided to transform Daizenza into a shopping center, the old shopping center, a little butchery there, a little bakery there, and I applied for a liquor license which was granted to me, which happened to be the first to be granted to a black woman in South Africa, and the center grew with those bits and pieces. Eventually got a filling station and the thing worked.
Her first love for mechanics kept on coming back to her.
As time goes on, that truck and sand never left my mind. Hence, I started walking around looking for something to do mechanically because I'm not a trained mechanic, but I am a bush mechanic. I can fix cars.
Zeal and love fulfilled her passion.
That's when I opened my very first workshop, Ibuhlabela, which fixes military vehicles. I was again the first black company to be accredited by AMSCO in South Africa, and I fixed a lot of brown vehicles. I even refurbished vehicles that South Africa donated to Uganda, Mozambique, and Namibia.
A true sign of fate, things started opening up for Mama Nora.
I got my first contract with the army, which was worth 8 million rand. That was something else for me. And everybody said, well, she won't make it. The refurbishment of gun tractors is something that needs big companies. And guess what? I managed that refurbishment on time, and it was beautiful.
Now more appointments started flowing through.
I was appointed a director at Basco. I think it was in 1998. Basco had their own problems previously where buses were banned during the riots, and a foreign company had financed Basco when they were in trouble and took 24% shares. I was representing that at Basco. However, after a while they decided they are going to withdraw in South Africa, and they offered me their shares. When the main partner retired in 2010, I bought another 20.5%, and it took me to 44% and a major shareholder.
With all good things coming to those who wait, Mama embraced her good when it came.
I love vehicles, and ever since being with Basco, we made a lot of changes. We made a lot of headways. Basco is the first company to introduce train buses in South Africa. Right now we are running a pilot of bi-articulated buses.
Which is what? The bi?
3 buses in one. And it works very well. The pilot has been running, this is the 11th year. You might say it's a pilot, it takes a long time, yes, because it carries people.
She embraced both the good and the challenges.
With the bus industry, you are very right, it's male-dominated. Sometimes until you make your mark, you do something that is significant, people don't take you seriously. I think owners of big companies are known, but this side, because it's not a female buses, what do you know about vehicles? And yet that is the love of my life.
Her love and steadfast focus on her passion got her to live her dream. She became a powerhouse by not focusing on the time it took her, but on what she wanted to be.
Uyabona abantu abathi ngelinye ilanga ngingaphuma mina ngishiyo ANC ngenzeli enye iqembu kusho ukuthi abakangazi kahle.
I'm going to start with the so-called Revolutionary Council and deal with them legally.
We hold Hamas responsible for all acts of aggression from the Gaza Strip towards Israel.
I think he's been treated very, very unfairly by the media. As I call it, the fake media in many cases.
We know that if the evidence is presented properly, that a conviction at the end of the day could possibly follow.
I don't care what it was. What are you trying to achieve?
This is neither procedure.
That's your problem. You are even replying instead of making a ruling. You are just descending into the arena.
Take your seat, honorable member.
That's all you know.
Shervin Briceby, SABC News, New York.
Paul Barber, SABC News, London.
Tebu Mokobo, SABC Ufa Kutsamono, Russia.
Neha Punya, SABC News, Saharanpur in Uttar Pradesh in India.
Other than that, I've enjoyed every single moment of it.
Takwana Ngatani, SABC News, Soweto, Johannesburg.
Nora Fakudenkuna, a transport guru and philanthropist, has paved the way to many women in and around Mpumalanga. Over 400 fleet of buses transporting over 180,000 passengers, specializing in train buses and bi-articulated buses with cameras and even Wi-Fi. Nora's love for people makes everything she touches to turn into gold.
The operations of Busco are, we've got here in the Lowveld 430 buses, of which 80% are train buses and 1% by art, and the balance rigid buses, which 430, and then we've got 10 semi-luxes for those who want to travel in luxury for private hire. In Steelpoort, we've got about 40 buses. And Protos, which is based in Pretoria and Cape Town, and a few in PE, there's 98 buses. So that's Busco.
She insists that her biggest mandate is empowering women.
It comes from the road that I've traveled, because initially I wasn't acceptable in buses, and I am, or in transport, and I made it in transport. I broke that barrier of women, men owning buses. Now, why should women not drive buses? Why should women not fix buses? I remember when I introduced the female driver concept, everybody said, oh, that's the end of Busco. And we started, took them from matric, took them through learner's license, driver's license. I think at the training center, you've seen the simulators. They were driving simulators before they jumped into buses. We trained them from nothing to being bus drivers, and they are the best drivers you can find. The women mechanics are the best mechanics you can get. Head of the electrical department is a woman who was trained at Busco, and after introducing women drivers, we've got very few accidents. I think we are a record company with accidents, especially fatal accidents, where, because it is women, it is mothers taking care of the passengers. They understand the cargo that they are having.
She is more determined to balance the gender ratio in her bus company. Lorraine has been driving for over 3 years now.
Bathi bodabacelela ukuthi hayi ngeke ngisaluka vele ngala egodwana abantu nyalo sebangithemba ngiyahamba nabe even nyalo ngiyana se-Petersburg ngibalayishile ngisuke eBarberton ngafika ePetersburg.
Linda was diagnosed with cancer which left her partially deaf. It was hard for her, but the company insisted that she continues to work.
To be honest, I'm very grateful as a disabled person. Some companies, they don't employ disabled people. I'm so happy because Maganora and the company, they never discriminated me on my disability. They believe I'm partially deaf and I'm using the hearing aid. They believe in my capabilities, and I'm still working for Busco, although disabled. I'm so grateful, really, really grateful.
She has identified a school and a community center to help out. Mama Spongile Mvubu testifies to the amazing work done by Mama Nora.
Uma ke fakuthe mdolo uma afika kulendzawo lena wafika lana bavandarazile babulala emafensteri bagwabuleta ivalo bawona nje yonke makhiwo mafence konke mathanki konke kutshontshiwe waletha umuntu wokufaka amadlazi mafensteri waletha umuntu wokufaka ivalo wafaka amabhatla wagwabula ifloor laphansi wafaka ifloor waletha umuntu
bafaka majojo, babiya lenzawo, bafaka ifence, babuya futhi mase babile lenzawo bafake ifence, baphinza bakha ama-toilet, bafaka ama-toilet yokuflasha, bafaka ama-bathroom mashawari yokugeza abantwana. Fakutse mndolo, ngiyabonga sisi, uNkulunkulu akubusise, akungedele malanga lamadze.
Learners from Dumisania High School share how the computers donated by Mama Nora have helped them.
We're grateful to Mama Nora for giving us these computers, because on this community we're not having computers. Even a single school, they didn't have computers. But I'm grateful for her because she gave us these computers because she wants us to have better future.
We are thankful for his job that he has done for us here in Dumisania High School. He gave us hope that we must use those computers to finalize ourselves, to learn, to get knowledge through them, so that we can focus on our studies.
Siapila is an old age home funded by Basco. Nora definitely understands the gift of giving.
Abantu belinye ibala banama old age homes. Thina gogo bethu, they become our anchors. Gogo uyahlala ekhaya, siyabuya simshiyela abantwana and all that. So sacabanga ukuthi kungcono ukuthi sakhe e-center ngoba sinayo transport, siyabathatha ekuseni baya ku-center, we take care of them, bayadla, baya exercise nje ubashilo, ntambama uma nabazukulu uthatha ukudla aye nake ekhaya afika feed abazukulu bakhe. Emini naye he has been taken care of, especially for health and all that. That's how that center Siapila came about. We operate in the rural area. We live with the people. Most of the time, I understand that what is key is somebody's roof over somebody's head. Hence, when social workers were conscientizing us about people who have no accommodation, who have no houses, we undertook that we are going to build houses, and not matchboxes, but proper houses. You must have seen some of the houses in order to house the people who are homeless. And one is very proud of that project. We have about 40 houses now. Mary, it's also one of the family. It's a child-headed household. There's other two, but at least there's a lady who's big, older, who can take care of the children. But for Mary, there were two kids. The parents passed on, and they were living in a shack. And when we were building the house, I asked them, who's going to take care of you? Who's going to be responsible? Nobody. That's when I undertook to take them as my own. And you've seen for yourself, they are my children.
Phenomenal is an understatement to describe Mama Nora. Her strength and willpower is a reflection that nothing is impossible.
With all the trials and the things that we're doing, people thought that we are better off. Kanti ile mizamo bikade sizama siyisekhaya, that in our village, I think our family was the first family to buy a fridge. So focus, commitment, and not wanting izinto. Na namhlanje you can have your thing. If I don't have it, I bless you because it's not mine. I focus what I can achieve and take care of what I have.
She paid a tribute to Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela.
Some of us drew strength from our late stalwart, Winnie Mandela, who's normal in this planet, if she could stand and withstand the things that she went through until she passed on, at least having a bodyguard, who are we to give up along the way? All the women of South Africa can look at that woman and look at the road she has traversed and say, I can do it.
Nothing can stop your dreams, and Mama Nora is a testimony. Mbokodo, phenomenal warrior, Bophelong acknowledges your greatness.
Truly inspirational. It is stories such as these that really show how South Africa is embracing transformation, making us all proud. And with that, that's how we conclude today's show. Goodbye, Africa.
A meteorite hit the Earth 2 million years ago, creating an enormous impact of crater, about 10 kilometers in diameter, near Vredefort in the Free State, 100 kilometers southwest of Johannesburg, now known as the Vredefort Dome, a South African World Heritage Site. The meteorite is said to have been larger than Table Mountain and caused a 1,000 megaton blast of energy. The impact would have heated about 70 cubic kilometers of rock and have increased the Earth's oxygen levels to a degree that made the development of multicellular life possible. The world has about 130 crater structures of possible impact origin. The Vredefort Dome is the largest in the world, followed by Sudbury Crater in Canada and the Chicxulub Crater in Mexico.